big news of the day. Bird has hired on Wes Christian and team to basically dig deep. And Wes Christian announced that when he was talking about the mother lode, he was talking specifically about MMTLP. Meow meow. Getting the hedgies to close out MMTLP is looking totally impossible. Like landing a man on the moon, never gonna happen. I mean, that's what we got courts and stuff for. Oh, the cat's trying to take over the thing. Dog's gonna get upset and get down and jump down, isn't she? Isn't she? But I don't think things are impossible. You make enough noise and get national news, and you start getting, elected officials involved, then the regulators and the brokers, they start caving. When it's not looking good for them, they'll start caving, and it will be glorious. I still have hope that stuff's going to happen. Simply because I refuse to give up on anything. I am like a pit bull with lockjaw. I'm not gonna let go. So, meow meow. I know you might be losing hope, but I think the turn of events today shows that they're gonna have a lot of legal issues they're gonna have to deal with. So, yeah. Hiccups. William Morgan. Judge has to be fair. He has to give FINRA ample time to respond. This is normal. And everyone, I want you to give also a nice round of applause to William Morgan. He put together all these CEOs, Wes Christian and Charles Payne. He got that whole group together by messaging them incessantly, tagging them in things, and like a good fisherman, cast that net and hauled them all in. You did a great job, William, and I don't think there's enough pats on the backs and kudos we can give to you, and nods of the head and bows of praise. Everyone here should just give you like the biggest thumbs up in the entire world, because what you managed to pull together was absolutely incredible. And as a result, there are some big legal batters coming in here. And we've got national spotlight on with Charles Payne. Good job, dude. Good job all around. And yeah, thumbs up, high fives, fist bumps, you name it, man. Good job, great job, fantastic job, elite job. Gold star, gold foil stamp, trophy, plaque, crystal chandelier, blue ribbon. And a kiss on the cheek. That's what you got, man. Robert Schaefer. Do you think they will try to get rid of synthetics before it goes to court? Discovery is a bitch for them. Okay. Let's think about that. How much is it going to cost them to get rid of the counterfeits, the synthetics? Like, depending on the number, Wes Christian, they might get that ShareIntel data, and they might say that there's 1 billion naked shares on just MMTLP, right? It's 1 billion shares. If they have to pay out the dividend for the possible sale of the oil field, the low end that dividend's gonna be like $30. On the high end, it's 120. So we're looking at between $30 billion and $120 billion just in payments in lieu if there's a special dividend. They don't have that money. None of them have that money. That cash does not exist. And if they're going to buy those shares, right? In our bid-ask spreads that were in the level 2s prior to them shutting down, so many people had their shares listed for $1,000 or more. So if that's the case, you're looking at $1 trillion or more to close those positions. $1 to $10 trillion. That money definitely doesn't exist. So they may go for the court thing and just hope that there's like a hand of God coming down to make it all better. Stall. I don't see them, and they might be able to close out some positions because there are some dummies out there who will sell for like $5-6. No, I just want to get out. Cool. You're gonna kick yourself later. if if trading opens up or if the dividend comes along. You're gonna be like, why did I sell for $5? I made $5 grand. I could have made like 50 grand. Oh, so there'll be a lot of those Monday morning quarterbacks that come. But I don't think that that's a large enough group of people that are going to make much of a dent in those billion shares that they'd have to close out. So, I don't see how anybody can afford to get rid of those synthetics. Just don't think the money exists without liquidating everyone along the way. And if that happens, then it's going to trigger a cascade of liquidations for every other thing that all these institutions have gone short on. It would be the collapse of everything. So this I think is why a person like the CNN business editor is like, this might be a good story to report on, because if anything does happen with closing positions, it is the collapse of everything. It will bring the entire system down, and that is an intriguing thing to read. Right? People love to read about like apocalypses. This would be the apocalypse of the market based upon the greed of counterfeiting shares. So I would read it if I was not involved whatsoever in this whole movement. If I hadn't been the guy who, 20 months ago I was like, yeah, I got some MMTLP. It's going to turn to this material sciences company, and then you get this share that's for the oil field holdings. You might get a couple of dollars dividend out of it. If I hadn't said that 20 months ago, who knows where we'd be right now on that whole thing. It's weird. It's kind of weird. My roommate was like, you realize you're the guy, right? You're the guy that talked about this pretty much before everyone else. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Where were we? That was Robert asking about to get rid of him before Discovery. At this point, it seems like there's deep enough pockets that we can afford Discovery with the flamethrowers group, as they're calling themselves. Because Discovery, if it gets that phase, is going to be a couple million. So, Houston Wade Jr., a swelling CEO, army, and associates equals a non-trivial solution to market corruption. Yep. These guys they're band together, and that's like CEOs are unionizing against short hedge funds. So, the safety in numbers, and you can defray costs, and you have more PR departments to fire off missives to news agencies. You have a larger marketing capacity for a lot of these guys, and they have a lot of money to play with to help their shareholders. So I think it's good. And you are still staring at me as if I'm going to do something for you. I am not going to do anything for you. You can stop staring at me. Yeah. Okay. Julianne, something tells me MMTLP is a motherload of shorts. That's what Wes Christian said. He said they're the motherload. So I don't know if he's saying that because they hired him, or if he's saying that because it's the actual motherload of shorts. But it's pretty crazy how many have to exist, right, Monkey? Lindsay Eamon. What happens with Rosa now that Wes Christian has made all this noise? Surely it will help her. I think so. I think getting in the news and showing that there's other people who have been injured by this, she can point to them, say, Your Honor, there's other lawsuits going on over this exact thing of people claiming they were injured by the actions of the hedge funds and FINRA in this. So I think what Wes Christian has done successfully is he's gone after the short sellers themselves in one. He has not gone after the regulatory bodies. So Rosa is fighting the regulatory body, trying to get these last 2 days so that they're forced to close. And Wes Christian is looking to make them pay no matter what, whether it's via class action or other legal means. But his method, I think, is something that might take longer to play out than what Rosa's looking for. Rosa wants an injunction. She wants it now. She wants to just get it over with and get done. She doesn't want a protracted legal battle. But Wes Christian, he's going to need a protracted legal battle because he's going to have to subpoena, 20 hedge funds, a bunch of broker dealers, the whole works. It's going to be just a boatload of documentation to go through. So it'll take a while. Brandon T. Houston, what is the likelihood that hedges are trying to hold out till NextBridge sells the land and we get a dividend? Is there a way for them to weasel out of paying the PIL? There shouldn't be a way for them to weasel out of paying the PIL. Somebody's got to pay it. And if they can't pay it, they get liquidated and it goes to their prime broker who has to pay it. And if they can't pay it, they get liquidated. And then it goes to like the Federal Reserve going, oh God, we got to print money again. While there's massive inflation. Oh, why do you do this to us? And then they'll print money and pay us. Project Son, did you talk about Wes Christensen having nefarious dealings in his past when the grifter AMC dude was his butt begging for money? Yeah. Wes Christensen does have a history of what looks like shorting some of the companies that he's represented. I mean, I looked at how many stocks he'd sold in the past, and oftentimes it was the very companies he was representing. People have said, oh, but the companies paid him in stock, and that's how he paid for these things. But, like, you want to, like, not decrease the price of your company's stock more if you're representing them. So yeah, that's some things. He has won some cases. I do believe that he's something of this big profile. His name was on the line, so he's gonna have to do a good job. So I'm hoping. Let's see where it gets. Theorems AE, can you talk more about Berta declaring war? I mean, they've retained the services of West Christian and Company. They are seeking to get an accurate count of the naked shares of MMTLP. And if it shows that there are certain brokers and or market makers and or hedge funds that are involved in facilitating the naked shorting that's happened, I think they're going to go scorched earth on those guys. So that's kind of what I got from that letter that Berta posted. We can find that letter. One sec. I gotta go there. I gotta go here. Blink. And where is where is it? Where is it? Where is that letter? There it is. Okay. So this is the letter that Berta posted from the Warshaw Bernstein Law Group. Warshaw Bernstein Christian Levine Law Group retained by shareholder group to investigate market manipulation scheme. Warshaw Bernstein LLP, a full-service law firm in New York City, today announced that along with the Christian Levine Law Group and several industry consulting experts, it has been retained by Flamethrower LLC, Flamethrower, to investigate whether tens of thousands of unsuspecting investors were fraudulently sold hundreds of millions of unauthorized phantom shares of NextBridge Hydrocarbons Incorporated by market makers, broker-dealers, and other third parties. Oh, you guys can't see because I've got the stupid map up. Go away, map. There we go. All right, now you can read it. This investigation will also focus on whether fraud was committed in connection with the listing of Metamaterials Incorporated and Metamaterials Incorporated's MMTLP shares, and where the Torchlight Incorporated MMTLP were targeted by broker-dealers, market makers, and other third parties who employed a scheme or device to manipulate their share prices. Flamethrower, a consortium of shareholders, is committed to investigating and prosecuting every company or individual who engaged in market manipulation scheme that targeted these companies and will seek to hold them financially liable for their unlawful conduct. Yeah. So, there you go. They're declaring war. That's them. They're like basically saying like, total warfare, scorched earth. We even call ourselves flamethrowers. You guys are toast. That's what they're going for. So I think they've hired Share Intel to do the count. I'm sure that they are subpoenaing everything they possibly can, and that they will just sue into the ground anyone who comes in their way. So there you go. Monkey butt. He looks so pathetic down there on the floor. He looks so sad. So sad. Richard K. Brokers have started transferring shares to AST for registration. That means the remaining counterfeit shares will be more expensive to buy back. Very possibly. It will remove competition from any open market, because I have no idea the ability you have in AST to buy or sell. But you will have your paper shares in there and not necessarily a QSIP that matches something that's tradable if they do bring back a couple of days of trading. So that's why I'm just kind of holding back, because regardless, I get a PIL if they sell their assets, or I got the opportunity to sell via Fidelity, either gray market or reopen market. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold back. I'm not gonna register with AST yet, just because I want my options open. I want to be able to bob and weave if I have to. Bebop and scat all over the place.